Good morning. It is 6:23 a.m. on one of these days, Thursday, December 17th, 2015. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, I'm sure that you are all eagerly awaiting with bated breath the latest update on the saga of whether or not Christiana can get up on time or whether she sleeps in and makes herself late. Well, today the results are mixed. In the sense that I didn't set my alarm quite as early as usual, but I also did not sleep in further once it went off. I am definitely feeling foggy. It was another night where this has been a bad night for trying to go to bed early, or a bad week even. Last night was the finale of the most recent episode of Survivor. 3 hours worth from 8 until 11, which puts me at going to bed late. It's a great season though, and so Mike and I will be recording our talking about Survivor finale episode probably tonight, which also potentially might make me need to stay up late. Maybe? I don't know. We're not sure. We'll see. Luna is by my side, here to support me in these trying times. Um, what did I do also yesterday? I watched Return of the Jedi, completing my Star Trek, or excuse me, God, so my Star Wars movie rewatch. Um, it's funny. Even though I read the novelization of 3, I was left kind of unsure. It's like, should I actually watch the movie too? Somehow, I was feeling like reading the book was just going to take the place of that, meaning I don't need to watch it. But now, having not watched it, I feel incomplete. But to finish with 3? No. I mean, certainly the buzz on the internet lately is that if you're going to watch them in any non-traditional order, um, traditional orders, of course, would be chronological in terms of real world, like so it would be 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Now, I don't know that anyone really advises that order from a story perspective. Or you could watch them in, story chronological order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But there is also what is known as the machete order. I'm not 100% sure why it's called that, but the idea there is that 1 is completely optional. You may as well just not watch that one at all. And to some certain extent, I feel like the movie is worth watching as a whole, but it's also true that there's really very little from that movie that you need to know in the subsequent movies. It really just, from a story perspective, really just who Qui-Gon is really, almost the only thing that's relevant. And from there, it's like, do you really need to know that? 2 really kind of introduces you to everything you need to know. But anyway, okay, machete order is that skip 1. Then you watch A New Hope, 4, Empire Strikes Back, 5, which, spoiler, reveals at the end, oh my god, Darth Vader is Luke's father, ah! And resulting also in the only extended no scream that I think is really fully justified and delivered in a way that doesn't feel cheesy. That bit. But in any case, so the idea would be that after discovering that reveal, you then go back and watch episodes 2 and 3 to see how Anakin came to become Darth Vader. Then you go back to Return of the Jedi to watch the conclusion of that story. Now, I didn't watch them in that order, but I can definitely see the merits there. First of all, it spaces out the less enjoyable prequels with the more enjoyable. Like you kind of bracket them with the most enjoyable movies, and also just it ties in what I've felt like when I was talking about Empire Strikes Back, the some of the additional perspective that is gained by having the prequels exist. Now, there's some things about the prequels that kind of feel like they screw stuff up, like the whole idea of midichlorians, that sort of thing. But I definitely, in watching Return of the Jedi, really appreciate knowing more about Anakin and who he was and what his deal was. Because the Darth Vader mask, obviously, it's inscrutable, right? And so we have a limited amount of body language with which to try to judge what Darth Vader is feeling. Luna has gotten her squeaky toy. Um, and having that additional insight and understanding where his character's conflict might come from, I feel like makes me appreciate that whole arc more. And I liked it. And not to mention the idea that the whole Jabba sail barge sequence is one of my favorites from any of the movies. And you got the speeder bike stuff. You got some of the great final battle. And I think, although it's certainly not the most exciting from just a combat choreography stance, the second lightsaber fight between Luke and Darth Vader at the end of this movie, in terms of emotional investment, may be my favorite lightsaber battle. And I really liked it. And then there were parts of it like when Yoda died, and then also just the emotions involved um, with Luke and Vader, now Anakin again. I teared up some while watching it. And so it was really great. I hadn't watched the whole series in a while, and I was really glad I did. So I'm excited for the new one now. I'm trying to temper my expectations somewhat, but I'm optimistic. And that, the advanced reviews seem to bear that out. I haven't really been spoiled on anything, I don't think. So, fingers crossed to avoid that until Saturday. But, yeah, I think, with awareness, it's like, okay, let's not go in expecting something to be perfect or life changing. But I do expect it to be good, and I'm looking forward to it. So, I will talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes.